No? Yeah, hello? Okay, I'm working. Y'all's may not work. Welcome, everybody. Full house tonight. Good to see so many smiling faces joining us. If you all would join me for a moment of silence, and if you would please remember the high school in Georgia that had the shooting, the victims and the parents there. If you would, please. Thank you. Yes, sir. And a student who was killed in Baltimore today. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Please remember his family as well. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right. Again, thank you all for coming out tonight. We are having some technical issues, so everybody in person should probably be able to hear us, but some of our mics are not working properly. We will move our meeting location for October to the middle school and hopefully have a little bit better sound equipment and functionality there. Roll call, yes. Here. Here. Absolutely. Yep. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the agenda as it's stated, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. The consent agenda, can I get a motion to approve that? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. All right. Send us some comments. Terry Hudson contacted me about speaking tonight. Thank you, Ms. Hudson. If you would state your name, and you've got the floor for 3 minutes.
All right. My name is Terry Hudson. Thank you all for allowing me the time to speak tonight. I'll try to keep it brief. I'm pretty much here to discuss the new sports facility at the Halifax County High School. I understand it is still ongoing, whether to do or not to do. But in my opinion, we spent all this money and research and years developing a brand new state-of-the-art high school, and it would be a real shame to keep the same rundown sports complex. The football field, I mean, it looks the same as it did when I went to school. I graduated in '94. And I'm sure a lot of these other people went to the same school and would agree. A lot of the meetings that I've been to, I heard a young gentleman speak about the youth of the county is the future of the county. And if you look around, there's more youth here than anybody else, so that ought to stay in something. So again, I would just like to see it more interest and emphasis put in for another new sports facility at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Dr. Hudson,
All right.
the floor is yours, ma'am.
Okay. See if I can. Computers and mics and all kinds of stuff. I think I'm working. I think so. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. And gosh, I just love to see all these children here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here tonight. And just welcome to everyone else. And those of you guys that are tuning in, if you can hear us, welcome to you all too. Gosh, it's hard to believe we've been back in school for a whole month. I feel like things are going pretty well. There's a lot of energy out in every school as I'm going just around to all the classrooms. A lot of great things going on. Just thanks to everyone for just digging back in. I feel like we've been back in school forever. Sometimes it feels like just a couple days, and sometimes it feels like we've been here just forever. Thanks to everyone who took time to come and sign that final beam. If you wondering where it went, it is on top of what will be main entrance to the school. So that was just a great event at the topping out event. So if you had a chance to sign that, know that you are now officially a part of history. So that's a big deal. In other news, we were super excited to find out last week that our friends at Sidner Jennings Elementary have been awarded a 21st Century Learning Grant. And that is, we don't know exactly how much yet. They're going to let us know the exact dollar amount, but it's a big deal. That's a very, very competitive grant. And that's going to provide after school time, summertime, all kinds of outside of school learning opportunities for them. And we are over the moon. I'll be back in touch with how much that is, but we applied for $250,000. So it could be as much as that, or it could be less than that, but it's a significant amount of money that we'll be getting for the friends at Sidner Jennings. So super excited about that. The other, as always, we are super excited for our law enforcement partners. We are over the moon about DARE coming back, and that will be at every single elementary school. Everybody will be getting the DARE program. So that's going to be starting here in a couple weeks. And just as a reminder to all of our law enforcement, stop by our school any day, anytime, and have lunch. That is compliments of our partners with Sodexo. So we were able to work with them. And just a reminder, I know I've said this before, but just in case our law enforcement partners didn't hear it the first time or you've forgotten, but we just appreciate you all so much. We were able to work with Sodexo and make that happen. So please just stop by, visit our schools, and have lunch on, I would say on us, but it's not on us, it's actually
even better.
Have lunch on Sodexo. Just know that we greatly appreciate our partnership with you guys. So, and again, on with that, we are always interested in how we can be on the front end of all of our de-escalation trainings, and so that we're always on the same page. Our security folks will be doing MANT training, and that is, again, that's just the fancy word for how we prevent, de-escalate, and try to be on the positive side of behavior situations before they come up. So all of us will be on the same page. It's the same training that a lot of our teachers go through, our administrators. So now our security folks will be going through that same training in the next few weeks. So that's, again, the more things we can prevent, better off we all are. So we're just super excited. So let's see. This is something that's super cool. In the next couple weeks, so as you guys know, the high school, the bricks and all the things, the roof is on and those kind of things. And now it's time to start thinking about what's going on the inside. So in the next Monday, I think it is, there's going to be a set-up classroom, like a sample classroom set up at the middle school and the high school to try out some furniture. So, and then we'll take pictures of it, there'll be it online, and everybody's going to get to vote. So if you're at the middle school and the high school, there'll be test classrooms, basically. Try out the furniture. I like this, I don't like that. And then after a couple weeks, we will switch. So everybody will get to try it out. Is it going to last? What do we like? We do like this, we don't like that. So anyway, be looking for that. Super, super cool. One last thing, and then I'll be done. The GPS system, everyone's wondering, where is it? What's going to happen? Parents, when's my app coming? So they're still working on trying to finalize those routes. And so it's gone a little bit slower. It's super important that your information is accurate and updated, because we know a lot of kids go to school one way and then maybe they go somewhere else in the afternoon. So it is critical that your information is accurate and updated. So we appreciate your patience. We'd rather be accurate than fast. So please make sure your information is in there, and thank you for being so patient. It is coming. We anticipate in the next several weeks, and we will keep you guys updated. So I think that's all for now. Thanks everybody, and
Thank you.
We're gonna keep rolling.
Thank you.
So, oh wait. Yes,
Yes.
sir. No, it's just for the police officers? No, it's just lunch.
All right, good. Thank you, Dr. Huskin.
Oh, she knows. No, they know, it's just samples.
All right. Thank you again, Dr. Huskin. Thank you, Mr. Potts. As Dr. Huskin said, on August 20th, we did have the topping off ceremony, the setting of the last steel beam going into the high school. I hope everyone had a chance who wanted to sign it, got a chance to sign it. I personally didn't know what to expect at the ceremony. We don't build schools all that often here in Halifax County, but I do think everybody who attended the ceremony thought it was pretty neat. I mean, when they picked up the beam, moved it with the flag attached to it, I mean, it was a pretty neat experience. I said at the ceremony, and I like to say it again, you know, thank you to the prior board members who worked so hard to get the project moving, and thank you to those who are still on our board working to move the project forward. There was a lot of hard work behind the scenes and a lot of late nights and a lot of tough meetings, but thank you all for what you did. Besides the construction and the opening of the new high school, another topic, and there was a topic here tonight that is constantly brought up, are our sports fields and our facilities. Anytime I'm in the grocery store, Walmart, people are asking, what's the plan? What are we going to do? In July, Grimman Parker gave a great presentation about a whole new sports complex. And that plan is certainly on the table, as well as many other options that we'll be looking into very soon. My trusty vice chair has told me many times, this is a once-in-a-generation project, and we need to get it right. And he is exactly right. We need to get it right. We need to figure out the exact correct option for our facility and for our school and for our county and for our Commons moving forward. Wednesday, bit of a somber note, marks 23 years since a really awful incident happened on our soil here in the United States. Hope we all take a moment and remember all the lives that were lost that day and give thanks for how lucky we are to live in this great country. Thank you. Mr. Floyd? No, sir? No comment? Ms. Williams, tell us what's going on at Halifax County High School.
Good evening, Dr. Huskin, Chairman Mason, Vice Chairman Lloyd, and all other school board members. Students at Halifax County High School have had a very busy first month of school filled with sports events, clubs, and other day-to-day activities keeping students engaged. Volleyball, golf, football, cheer, cross-country, and scholastic bowl are in full swing, and our Mighty Blue Comets have been picking up wins all across the Piedmont region. Our JV and varsity girls volleyball teams have both had a good start to their season. The Comets golf team is also off to a great start. Returning players and underclassmen have both been improving consistently and becoming better competitors. Our football team has their first home game at Tuck Dillard Stadium this Friday and are working towards their first win of the season. The Halifax County football cheerleaders are excited to cheer them on to victory. The Comets cross-country team did great at their first meet last Tuesday and have claimed their spot as second in the district. Scholastic Bowl have finalized their team and will start practicing tomorrow. They are also ready for a great season. Various student organizations like SCA, FBLA, HOSA, and YOVASO have all started meeting and planning events for the school year. The Student Council Association kicked off Spirit Week today with Dress a Mess Monday and invites students to show their school spirit throughout the week with other Spirit Days, finishing this Friday at the football game with a neon theme. FBLA has continued sign-ups for this year's chapter, while Health Occupation Students of America had their first meeting and are excited for members to bring new ideas to this year's organization. Peer Mediation is teaming up with our communications class to make a video that expresses their thoughts and ideas about public education. The theme for the competition is kindness, and students plan to make a video showcasing how they display their kindness. Students at HCHS have had a first great month of school, building dreams together, and look forward to all the opportunities September holds. The future is bright for students at Halifax County High School. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, board reports. The Facilities Committee met on August 29th. Mr. Lloyd, do you have an update you'd like to?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Facilities Committee met, as you said, on August 29th. We reviewed some proposals specifically related to cafeteria furniture, and not just the inside space, but the exterior meeting space as well. Basically, what we've decided to do is that we would invite the three companies to come in and give us a face-to-face presentation so we could get a little bit more information on the quality of the products, the pricing, and make a final decision.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Finance Committee met today, but Dr. Buckley was going to give us that report. Ms. Coleman, okay? All right. Moving right along. Mr. Marasco, you building anything? Okay.
Excuse me. Mr. Chairman, Dr. Huskin, members of the board, it's a pleasure to be back here with you again tonight. This past month, we were blessed with some good weather, so we made some great progress on the project. Right now, we're finishing up steel in area C, it's the cafeteria area. As you know, the biggest pieces, the beams are all there. We're just tying everything together right now. Roofing is continuing over the locker rooms and auxiliary gym right now. Building out the walls in the kitchen area. We're working on the electrical rough-in in that area also. We're installing a lot of drywall, HVAC components, and exterior sheathing in the classroom wings. Building interior masonry walls are also going in the auditorium and the CTE area. And we've also poured the concrete pedestal for the cooling tower to sit on top of. We're continuing with overhead ductwork, domestic water, and hydronic piping in the CT area as well. And we've got stairs in now. We have stairs set in the gym area, all three of them, and the ones in the northwest corner are poured right now, and we're planning to pour the other two this week. Brick installation, spray foam installation, you can see they're still ongoing. You'll see the brick keep creeping around the building. We've started painting, not really painting, we've dry fall painting, block filler. It's a primer that we put on there, so you get a good, so the painters started doing that, and as Dr. Huskin mentioned, we have test furniture being delivered next week for the classrooms, and we also have the cafeteria furniture vendors coming to the facilities committee next month. Not much has changed on the owner direct purchase. We're still at the same values for tax savings to date and year-to-date savings. We are looking to cut a purchase order for some CTE equipment fairly soon. We cut a purchase order for the in-ground automotive lifts because we need those sleeves that go in the ground because we have to pour those in the slab. We've got those ordered already, but we need to order the rest of the CTE equipment. And as you all are aware about the cafeteria furniture and all the flooring, glazing, casework, seating, and bleachers. Done quite a bit too. Here's one picture of the stairs. I believe this is the southwest corner of the stairs in the gym, and there's the northwest that's been poured. And this is what I'm talking about, the dry fall painting, the block filler painting. That was the batting cage area. Here's the decking in area C. This is coming out from the southern classroom wing. And this is looking from the other direction. You can see right there on the left at the top, that's your leading into the auditorium. This is the area, if you're standing on the left, you'll be able to look down and see into the cafeteria. And there's the pedestal I mentioned for the chiller unit. The chiller unit is on site. It's sitting in the bus parking lot right now. I expect to be mounting that pretty soon. And here's progress in the mechanical room. See, you have all your chillers in, you have boilers in. They're out of the picture a little bit, but they're in there every single day, working, hooking it up. And exterior sheathing on classroom wing A. You can also see the black mastic waterproofing is applied at the base there also. And here's a few aerial photos to finish up with. This is that steel area and decking in area C we were just looking at that level. And here's looking obviously from the east to west. You can see the two classroom wings. You can see excuse me. The main roofing on the main gym is done. You see they've started on the left side there. You can see where they've started over the locker rooms. And here's the other side of that. You can see that, or also you can see the auxiliary gym, how much progress they've already made on that. So they've made some good progress on that. So I'd say they're 80% done with the auxiliary gym already. And that's my presentation.
Wow. Wow. Really neat, really neat. Any questions for Mr. Marasco? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Gordon?
Good evening, Chairman Mason, Vice Chair Lloyd, Dr. Huskins, and school board members. My name is Kimberly Gordon, and I'm the sponsor of Yovaso at the high school. I'm here tonight with some of the club members to tell you about all the amazing work that they have been doing. In addition to hearing from the four behind me, I have 3 other members in the back. I just want to recognize them, and also would like to recognize Trooper Brad Cruz, who is instrumental in helping us in all that we do. I couldn't get half of what I get done without him, so thank you. So in short, Yovaso stands for Youth of Virginia Speak Out About Traffic Safety. It is a peer-to-peer group that teaches leadership skills to our students while they promote safe driving and passenger safety to the student body and community. Yovaso started at the high school in 2017, and that's why it is highlighted in blue. These are the statistics from Virginia Department of Transportation, where the teen fatalities in Halifax County. Halifax County historically had a very high rate of fatalities among young people. In 2014, there were 2, same in 2015, and then in 2016, there were 4. And Yovaso was created in 2017, and you can see the trend there is 0 for 3 years. And then 2020, we had 1. 2021, there were 3. And 2022, there were 4. So just a little background, we started back up in January of this past year. Trooper Cruz came to school and met with our principal, Mr. Davis, and they talked, and they brought me on, and I started recruiting kids, and these guys hit the ground running. So what they're going to talk to you about and show you are some of the things that they've done. Currently, we are at 70 and climbing members. There's no fee to join. Yovaso is grant funded from the state. So students can join. They can participate as much or as little as they want until they're comfortable. This past summer in July, I had the opportunity to take 17 to JMU. They're going to share with you some of that. We had an amazing time. I'm hoping to take more this next coming summer. We estimate 1,300 reached. I like to think that's more. I put everything out on social media. These guys will tell you we were at National Night Out. We have some upcoming community events planned also. So I hope I'm on the low side with that 1,300. Community partners, Virginia State Police, huge. They are partnered with Yovaso, so when we go to the retreat, there are tons of troopers there that interact with the kids. It's just a great time. State Farm is also a sponsor of ours, and locally, Dave White and Randy Trent have been very instrumental in donating things to us, helping us out where funding is needed. The Halifax County Public School Education Foundation gave us a very nice donation at the end of last year, and Hitachi has been sponsoring all of our apparel. So those are our local community partners. We hope to build more. Like I said, we just started back in January, so we're still going forward.
Good evening. My name's Haley Throckmorton, and I'm president of Yovaso. Our first event that we started was we just made posters to promote safe driving, buckling up, and to promote joining Yovaso. We also handed out stickers, things that Yovaso they provided us with. And these were very well liked by the students, different stickers to put on their phone cases, stuff like that. This is some of the photos we took. We went out to the student parking lot after school and took pictures of our fellow classmates buckled up. We posted these on our social media, Yovaso, and then we posted on the Halifax County High School's social media. This is our seatbelt checks. These, we gave away $20 gift cards for Visa and Sheets. Our first seatbelt check, we had 84% of our students were buckled up in the parking lot in the morning. And then our second one, we had an improved percentage of 89%. So it's really showing how much of an impact we make. We're very proud of this.
Hi, my name is Savannah and I'm Vice President of Yovaso. Every year Yovaso hosts 2 different campaigns, one in the spring and one in the fall. This year we participated in the one in the spring, which was called the Arrive Alive campaign, and it's from, you have prom and graduation during those. And these are different activities we did to promote safe driving during that campaign. We set up a table in the cafeteria with many different materials that Yovaso sent us, like stickers, bracelets, different like posts, like the cards. And we also had a wrecked car for prom. And we had Stan, which was a skeleton that we dressed up in a prom dress. And we had Who Do You Buckle Up For bulletin board, which students wrote who they buckled up for on little hearts, and we put them on the bulletin board. We had a guest speaker come and speak to us the Friday before prom to remind everybody to be safe on prom night. And we did a picture with emergency service personnel, and we did a video to submit for the Arrive Alive campaign. This was Stan. We dressed him up in a prom dress. We got him from our really well-loved biology teacher. Here's more pictures of Stan. This is the picture that we took with the personnel that came to the school with the wrecked car. And these are pictures that we had. We had posters with different statistics on them, and we got many students to take pictures with them in the parking lot. And in the end, we won the Arrive Alive campaign.
She didn't do this slide, so I'll do this slide. So this starts our journey to the retreat. The retreat is hosted by Yovaso. The troopers are there. They partner with the students. It's held at JMU every year. We were there for 4 days. These were the goals of the retreat: to educate, to prepare, to build, and to connect. The one that touched me the most was the building relationships. I'm big on that just in general, but to see these children interact with the law enforcement officers was really cool to me. The law enforcement officers, the state troopers, were dressed in pajamas for our pajama party night. They were running around playing football with the kids. It was just a lot of good interaction. Did you do this one? Okay.
My name is Gabby Connors, and throughout the retreat, we participated in many fun and educational activities. As you can see on the photos on the left, we started off with decorating our team flags with Sharpies, which were pillowcases. After each team finished their flag, we had the opportunity to showcase it while walking across the stage. In the pictures on the right, from top to bottom, we had the chance to talk to the police officers with dogs and ask questions we had. We also did an activity about traffic safety related to trains. We learned what different signs referring to train tracks meant and what to do in certain situations, such as what to do when your car stops on the tracks and a train is coming. My favorite activity we did was the driving simulator as shown. This activity consisted of driving in a golf cart-like vehicle with a trooper and 2 passengers. The objective was to drive between the cones while your passengers and trooper try to distract you. For example, when I drove, my trooper told me to try to take a selfie while driving, try to text and drive, and play loud music. There was a stop sign at the end of the course that many of us ran through, which taught us how dangerous distractions while driving are. Referring to the picture on the left, we played a safe driving game show. This game show consisted of various traffic-related and non-traffic-related games that you and your peers at your table worked together to get as many points as possible. At the end, the top 4 teams with the most points had to pick one person from their team to answer more questions at the stage. Whoever got to 5,000 points first won $100 worth of Amazon gift cards. My table, which consisted of many students from Halifax, was one of the top 4, and we ended up winning the entire game show in the first 5 questions. The photo on the right displayed us on our way to the pajama party held at the end of the day. This gave everyone a chance to socialize and have fun after learning so much throughout the day. Throughout the retreat, many of us formed friendships with many of the troopers. As you can see, our favorite, Trooper Snodgrass from Mecklenburg County, is posing with a member of YOVSO. Not only did we learn about traffic safety, but we also learned individual skills such as how to change your tire, how to jumpstart your car, and how to check your oil, as shown in the middle picture. On the last day, me and my friends socialized with some troopers and leaders from the retreat while we waited for a guest speaker. Halifax made great friendships with many members of YOVSO, which we still talk to today. On the last night of the retreat, we attended an award ceremony with catered dinner. Halifax won many awards such as the Speak Out About Safe Driving Award and Outstanding Club Recognition. 2 individuals from Halifax also won awards, which are our sponsor, who we love, Miss Gordon, who got New YOVSO Sponsor of the Year, and our president of YOVSO, Haley Throckmorton, who received Junior Volunteer of the Year. Bringing home 4 awards from Halifax meant a lot to us and showed how much our hard work has paid off despite only starting up this club 6 months prior.
Good evening. My name is Lena Gage Brightwell, and I will tell you about our place at Open House and National Night Out. At Open House, we had a table set up with sign-up sheets and merchandise we encouraged anyone to grab. At this table, members informed anyone who stopped by anything that they would need or want to know about YOVSO. Similarly, at National Night Out, we had the table and any spare goods to give out to the community. Our goal here was to spread our message of driving safety to the people of our community and hopefully prevent them from needing to call the emergency services.
YAC stands for Youth Advisory Council. At the end of the retreat, everyone had an opportunity to sign up to apply to become a YAC member for the next retreat. This application consisted of a short essay questions and a letter of recommendation. Out of the record number of over 60 applicants for YAC, only 22 were selected and 5 are from Halifax. Members from Halifax include myself, Malin Fraser Freshour, Caroline Spell, Savannah Terrell, and Haley Throckmorton. As YAC members, we will go through 2 training sessions, one in October and one closer to next summer's retreat, where we will get a chance to meet others on the Youth Advisory Council and learn more about our role.
On October 10th, students will be invited to a fun and interactive activity that will test their driving. Students will attempt to take the wheel and safely navigate through a course while a trooper and other students try to distract them. Our goal with this distracted driving simulator is to have students experience a distracting environment so that when they experience it on the road, they can correct it.
As I said earlier, we won the Arrive Alive campaign, and this is our video submission that we submitted.
Here at Halifax County High School, the comments.
Always stop at red lights.
I'm a teacher. Of course, I promote safe driving.
I'm a comic. Of course, I go to the speed limit and wear my seatbelt at all times.
We're comics. Of course, we buckle up.
I protect the comics. Of course, I follow the safe driving regs.
We're comics. Of course, we don't drink and drive.
I'm a teacher. Of course, I want my students to arrive alive.
Hola, soy profesora y por supuesto, yo también apoyo que manejar con cuidado.
I'm a comic. Of course, I don't drink and drive.
I'm a comic. Of course, I smoke weed. Hey, I'm a comic. Of course, I stop and stop signs.
I'm a driver's ed instructor. In fact, I own Saunders Safe Driving School, and I know if I taught you how to drive, you know how to drive safely.
I'm a comic. Of course, I follow the speed limit. I'm a comic. Of course, I won't speed.
I'm a comic. Of course, I buckle up.
I'm a comic. Of course, I drive the speed limit.
I'm a comic. Of course, I'm a safe driver. We're comics. Of course, we leave the parking lot without speeding. I'm a comic. Of course, I buckle up when I drive. I'm a comic. Of course, I don't take and drive. We're YOVSO members. Of course, we know all about safe driving. Je suis professeur.
Bien sûr, je conduis ça un jour.
I'm a comment. Of course I buckle up.
I'm a comment. Of course I stop at red lights.
I'm a comment. Of course I never cause distraction.
We're drivers and instructors.
And of course we want you to buckle up and be safe every day. I'm the oversight sponsor. Of course I don't want you to be a statistic. Stay safe, buckle up, and have fun at prom, comments.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Yes, Michelle.
I'd just like to say thank you. It's an excellent program. You've done a great job with it. The kids you have done a great job with it. As a parent and as a human being, losing a child because of driving is a nightmare. So thank you for doing this initiative. Let's challenge our parents and our students to get, as close to 100% buckled up in the parking lot as we can. Improvement is great, but come on guys, buckle up. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, sorry, go ahead. No.
Thank you. We have some different things that we get from Yovaso that we hand out to the students that we'd like to give you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Great job.
Mr. Clayton?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Chairman, being what I've done for 27 years now, I want to commend each one of you because this is a huge part of this community. And Virginia State Police plays an important role in this too. And we want to thank you, along with the Sheriff's Department and other town police, that you guys are making a difference. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not making a difference, because you are. And from the bottom of my heart and my family, we appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you for that.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you for what you do. Thanks. All right, we're going to change things up just a little bit. Ms. Eakes. Just trying to keep you on your toes, Ms. Eakes.
So I appreciate you letting me come.
Well, I'd like to take credit for it, but several other members had the idea. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, a good evening, Chairman Mason, Vice Chair Lloyd, school board members, and Dr. Huskin. I'm so happy tonight to stand before you to showcase our EGP summer camp. To give you a little history about this camp, November the 17th of 2021, we submitted a competitive grant for summer learning that would provide an extensive 4-week camp for our elementary gifted students. Kelly Franco, Susie Milam, Diane Talbot always had dreamed about the endless possibilities that our students could receive during summer. So thanks to their dedication and determination and desire, we all sat down, we wrote a grant, and we successfully received a $110,000 grant. The grant was written for summers of 22 and 23, but we watched those funds closely and we were able to stretch it for a third summer, this past summer of 24. So tonight, we'd love to showcase how at the elementary level, the funds from this grant allowed us to build dreams together during our elementary gifted EGP summer camp. So, let's see if I still have the teacher ability in me. At this point, I would like all of the little EGP summer campers to come up here today. I want you all to come up here, every one of them. I want y'all to stand. Come around here and stand right over here. I'll do the sing on faces. These children chose to get up early for 4 weeks during the summer. I don't see them all. Where's Charlie? Are you up here, Charlie? Come on up. I want you all. And this is just a little handful. We had over 70 children. So these were some that were able to come tonight. And I'd like to welcome all these students here tonight. They did a phenomenal job during our extensive summer camp. Their achievements and abilities are nothing short of extraordinary. And I'd like to thank each of you for being here tonight, boys and girls, and for the incredible work that you did this summer. Now, you keep standing, I would like to introduce our 4 gifted specialists. First, Diane Talbot, if you'll come up. Diane Talbot serves Cluster Springs Elementary School. April Myers, come on up. April serves South Boston Elementary School. Cluster, South Boston. Now we have Stephanie Adams. Stephanie works at Meadville, Center Jennings, and works with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders at Sinai. And Lauren Fears. Lauren serves at Scottsburg, Clay's Mill, and with our 4th and 5th graders at Sinai. These ladies are committed. They worked long and hard. They were there early and they were there late. On Fridays, when everyone else was at home, they were still meeting the children early on Friday mornings. They would load them up on buses and off y'all would go. And I just loved hearing all the wonderful stories. So I thought, they took pictures galore, and I thought y'all need to see everything that they did. I know you're going to be astonished. So Lauren, you come on up. I believe you're going to go first.
All right, so we started EGP summer camp on June 3rd, and we're gonna decide to let the children tell how it went instead of us talking about all of it. So I'm gonna turn the remote over to Alex Fears. He is now in a 6th grade middle schooler, but he came back to do the elementary gifted program.
Hello, my name is Alex Fears, and I'm going to be talking about the introduction and the first week of EGP summer camp. EGP summer camp was June 3rd through June 27th, with grades 1 through 5 enrolled. There were also 70 students, which was great because we made a whole lot of friends and a whole lot of memories. We provided enrichment opportunities, including field trips and hands-on activities. We focused on STEAM mix with some local history, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. EGP summer camp was centralized at South Boston Elementary, with all 7 elementary schools participating. This is the EGP summer camp 2024 kids and the teachers at the Love side at VIR. This is the teachers with Lauren Fears, Stephanie Adams, April Myers, and Diane Talbot. This is our transportation team with Miss Jeannie, Miss Glass, and Miss Bruce. I'm now going to tell you about what we did on week 1. On June 3rd, we did the Humpty Dumpty challenge, which is we did like an egg drop where we tried to protect all the eggs that we dropped. We also did 3 stations. The 3 stations was building buddies, drumming logic, and bingo on learning. On June 4th, we did touch a truck. Touch a truck was very fun. I was in it. I stayed around a dump truck. And then there was many others as a police car, ambulance, a crane truck, and a Dominion, thank you, Dominion energy truck. On June 5th, we also went to TMI Auditech, which was very fun. They showed us their facility and a bunches of race cars. Then once we got back to South Boston, we built and raced race cars. On June 5th, we went to Red Hill, which they had a lot of fun stuff. They had a spinning and weaving section, and they showed us what kids back then used to do to have fun. And then they also they had an ancestor of Patrick Henry there. And then when we got back to South Boston, the Warren Burton Wildlife Foundation came and showed us a bunch of interesting facts. They even brought a snake. On June 6th, we went to the Institute for Advanced Research. That was very fun. What I did was we did some with microscopes, and we made like an egg drop with but with cars. It was really fun. Then we went to the Danville Science Center. That was also very fun. On June 7th, we went to the Stand River Battlefield Park. And we also went to the Mulberry Plantation. At the Mulberry Plantation, we made candles, and we also learned how to churn butter. Very exciting. When we went back to South Boston, we made dog biscuits, and we donated them to local charities and students' pets. And then that's it for me. Turning it to Miss Myers.
That accent is a hard act to follow. Hi, I'm April Myers, gifted teacher at South Boston Elementary School. I have a few special road runners here with me tonight. Miss Elise Lloyd is actually going to come up and share some highlights from week 2. Another accent.
On week 2, we visited the Southern Virginia Higher Education Center Career Tech Academies. On day 1, we had welding. In welding, we were able to watch a demonstration as well as participate in a welding simulator. On day 2, we had IT. On day 2, we had energy. In energy, we were able to create a battery as well as a magnet. And on day 3, we had IT. In IT, we were able to work with technology. We also deconstructed a PC as well as reconstructing the PC. On day 4, we had robotics. In robotics, we were able to learn how to program a robot and drive our robot through a course. On day 5, we visited the Prizery. At the Prizery, we were able to participate in theater and improv. We did some art, and we had a great week too at EGP Summer Camp.
All right, I'm going to have some assistants come up with week 3. So I need Cheyenne Acree, right, Wes Adams, Cassidy Carter, Brody Connor, and Sophia Woosley. And we're going to tell you guys about week 3.
On week 3, we did yoga fun, 4-H food fun, and recess. I'm guessing that everyone did 4-H food fun. My favorite about 4-H food fun was that we got to make ice cream. Math and yoga fun was pretty fun.
On June 18th, we did building buddies, squeegee art, and we went outside for recess. My favorite was squeegee art because I like painting with the squeegee.
On June 20th, we did building buddies again, and we did an A to Z challenge. We also created a unique playground or putt-putt course.
We also did creating story stones to donate to the botanical garden.
Our favorite was story stones. 21st, we went to VIR, and we even got to see motorcycles race. Then when we got back, we saw Amazement Square, and we did 3 programs. My favorite was the cool elephant paste.
Also have some brave assistants as well. If you could come closer, Brooklyn. Emma. And Jim. We appreciate it. I will say, as we've done this, our ending, we were just so excited each day. We were full with excitement. Hopefully you'll see that as we do.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Yancey. I am in 5th grade at Cluster Springs Elementary School, and during EGP camp on June 24th, Rylan Clark came to demonstrate flying drones. He was also flying. Rylan Clark works at Hitachi. He works with transformers and helps with electricity and sustainable energy. Rylan is very supportive of being a part of the community. Rylan uses drones to monitor things at a distance of being high heights. Thermal energy helps save energy and money. It was a fun day when he came, and I can't wait for next time.
Back one. Look at the bottom. That is one thermal, I guess, heat. Fascinating. Definitely is practical, but also science. 20 on the June 25th, we had a huge party, so we split it. So some of us went to Martin's there. I'm gonna let our next person give me the details. Much more.
On June 26th, we did a dinosaur egg discovery. CSES and Senator Jennings went to the Botanical Gardens, which is near Edmonds Park. Our instructor, Miss Agnes Gregory, a founding member of the Botanical Garden, helped us learn about honeybees and their importances. We also learned about trees and how we need all of its products. We made garden snakes with painted rods. South Boston Elementary in Scottsburg made squeegee art and dog toys and treats. On the last day, the Halifax Dog Squad brought 5 adorable puppies, and we shared the homemade dog treats and toys. We learned about being responsible for animals and helping the community.
Hello, I'm Jada Miller from Cluster Springs Elementary School, and I attended EGP Summer Camp. EGP allowed us to meet new people from different schools in our county and be more social. It was a very fun and educational journey. We did a lot of different fun stuff with different people. It was a very fun experience and a great opportunity for the summer. Parents were offered to send feedback, and here are some of the things they said. We appreciate the EGP summer program. Thanks to all of the teachers that were a part of this, and there are many, many more. Students were allowed to give feedback as well. I also have some feedback of my own. I really enjoyed this program with my friends. I learned a lot of new things that I didn't know. I think that the EGP summer program is a great thing for kids and a fun thing to keep kids occupied during the summer. Thank you for letting us share, and we would like to share a gift with you.
Big round of applause. I'm so proud of each of them, and I'm so fortunate to have the 4 EGP specialists that took this grant by, and they went with it, and they tried to see exactly how much they could squeeze in with all the funds that we had. And I think you can all agree that of the 3 years, that was just 1 year. So the other 2 years was just as much and more. So thank y'all. Boys and girls, I think it's time to go home and go to bed. Is it one more? One more thing, sorry.
Oh, and I think Ms. Hicks, do you have a comment or question for the group?
Yeah, you guys can go and do what you need to do. I just want to say you guys are awesome, and the teachers, you've put in longer days than regular school days. And you guys did not get a summer break. You started right in. You maybe got one day off, right? So that's a lot of credit to everybody leading it and the kids. Good job. Thank you. And there's funding for it next year already. We've been guaranteed. Don't worry about that.
Mr. Potts, you got a comment for the group?
We always encourage creativity.
I would have to agree with that comment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you all.
I fix that. Creativity is always important in all aspects. We have a sample of our summer creativity. I'll extend it. We'd like to share as a memory from our summer camp.
Wonderful. Thank you. I can't wait for that.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. I don't guess it's any of that homemade ice cream. Thank you. Kind of got my attention.
Shadow puppet.
I already. Mr. Potts,
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all for coming tonight.
You know, I think that's
Hey,
good.
hey.
Actually, I think that we have one member not.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Yep. We have one for.
Give one of us today.
That's right.
Well, there goes our audience.
All our friends are
All right, Dr. Bucklew, you can make your way to the podium. Now it's your turn. Sorry to throw you a curveball.
Only if you'll make shadow friends.
That's right.
I would love to make shadow friends.
Right. So budgets never end. It's a continuing cycle. So Dr. Huskin and I work together to put together our planning highlights of what we are working toward to include in the FY26 year budget. So this is next year's budget. So we're still focusing on building dreams together. And as we go through this highlight presentation, you will see where we reflect a lot of what we have started this year will continue into next year. Right, we laid out some budget goals. Continue supporting competitive compensation, which includes our Stay with Halifax, Grow with Halifax initiative. Review the governor's budget as he works towards his FY26 budget as he works towards approving salary increases. Currently, it is at the 3%. Of course, as you know, that could change depending on what they determine at the General Assembly. So we will keep a close eye on that. We do have the biannual budget, but that can and does change as we get closer to December. So we'll have more information in December on where we land with compensation salary increase. We're also looking at what it will take for us to provide benefits to our bus and car drivers, and that would include insurance and VRS, and looking at those initiatives. In addition, we're looking at what are the competitive allowances going on in other counties when it comes to recruiting bus and car drivers. So those are some items we're looking at. Another goal we are working towards is, again, continuing multi-year initiatives. The all-in literacy, math, and our attendance plan that came out last year, we're going to continue those programs. Security initiatives, capital improvement initiatives, and departmental efficiencies, more areas that we can reduce expenditures that are unnecessary. So looking at the competitive compensation, we intend to stay with Halifax, grow with Halifax initiative throughout the next year as well as future years. That would include the longevity bonus, where you have your 5-year milestones, tuition reimbursements, which we have already started this year, licensure fees, covering those for the teachers, and other career areas, not just teachers. We're looking at nurses and paraprofessional fees and mechanic fees. Anybody that's trying to grow, we want them to grow with us and stay with us. Background checks, bringing those in-house. We are working on that so that folks don't have to go pay $10 for us to give them $10 back. So that is something that we should have off the ground soon. Then again, as I mentioned, watching General Assembly to see where they are setting the salary increases, and looking at the various incentives from surrounding areas that have been brought to bus drivers. We want to make our stance competitive as well. Next. Then in academics, continuing all in. Focusing on less screen time and more hands-on learning, having teacher-led instruction and innovative lessons division-wide, using data to help drive instruction and increase professional development to help teachers align instruction and to close gaps in achievement. Security initiatives. We're continuing to provide school security officers. We did get the grant with the DCJS, and our grant will continue. It isn't one of the grants that will be slashed. So that's good news. So that will carry on with the Sheriff's Department. And we'll continue to have the school resource officers in all of our divisions. Sorry about that. Upgrades to bus radios and division-wide frequencies. So we've gotten our schools on the frequencies. We want to get our buses on those same frequencies. So we will roll out a plan for that. Maintaining the subscriptions for the weapons detection and GPS. That's going to continue our security, making sure that they stay online and get the necessary updates. Next. Capital improvement. So we are working to develop a CIP plan that is feasible and sustainable. We want to institute the preventable maintenance measures, including paving and painting schedules throughout all the buildings. We do have a preventative maintenance schedule. We want to make sure that we're staying on top of it and funding it every year. Continuing to focus on the safety initiatives, which include camera upgrades, security vestibules were needed, and school marquees. Some may think that's just a sign, but that is another layer that we can use in any emergency to communicate. So marquee signs are important to have out front where we can put our digital information out there that we need for parents and the community. Work with the Facilities Committee to present an updated CIP plan from 2026 to 2030 and bring it as part of our spring budget package. And finally, develop departmental efficiencies. We have started that. Last year we were able to identify $1.5 million in departmental efficiencies that we were able to save out of our budget. And I think that's a reasonable goal to aspire to from year to year. And examples of where we found some efficiency trimmings was from supplies. We're not stockpiling. We're going to buy what we need and use what we need. Discontinue extraneous software. If it's not aligned with our standards, and the state has rolled out this all-in plan, and we're going to stay slim on that area. That also goes with the initiative to reduce screen time. Then review our staffing and evaluate replacement with an attrition. These are just some of the areas we're working towards as we're planning for next year. And my final screen. Push it one. Sorry. What would build your dreams? What would build your dreams? We want your feedback. So I have created a link for, I would love the board to each member go to the survey and answer the questions within the survey. And not only the board will be asked, but the entire community of Halifax. We're going to put this up on our screen. We're going to put this out on Facebook. I want to hear from all of Halifax. Students, parents, teachers, community members that have no children, business partners, I want to know. Flood the gate. We want to have feedback on what we want Halifax County Public Schools to focus on in our budgets. It's not saying that we can do everything that comes through on the survey, but we want that feedback so we know and we can do the statistical analysis on that as well. So I invite everyone to go ahead and take some time and do that budget survey, and then we will push it out to the public. Does anyone have any questions with what we presented?
Ms. Coleman.
I am so excited. I am so excited. So thank you for putting this together. I know this was a lot of work, and I am very excited to see that this Stay With Us, Grow With Us is the very first thing in this budget plan. That we are going to make this be a super top priority to reward those that are sticking it out with us. They want to continue to grow with our children and make this the best public school system in all the state of Virginia. And I think we're there anyway, but we can do nothing but just get better from here. And I just want to hit a little bit more on the bus and car driver benefits, the insurance, the VRS, and so
should be one more right here.
So that will be next budget year. So not even something that we can discuss this year.
That is correct.
Right. I just want to make sure that that's being said out loud multiple times.
Yes.
So that people will understand. And then, are there any stipulations with the state that we have to go through, like a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross before this can go through? Or do you think this will be an easy transition? What are we looking forward for this to actually take place?
So in order to get any initiative to take place, it has to be within the budget. So we have to have the final budget. That's first and foremost. And most of the items that I have listed would be a school board decision. So as long as we are within the budget, it would be the board's, if it's the board's desire to approve it or not approve it. So the state wouldn't really have any documents that would ban us or bar us from doing anything that we have listed tonight.
That is very exciting news.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Lloyd?
First, I want to thank you, Dr. Buckley, for all of your work on this. I was very excited to see the continued emphasis on the capital improvement initiatives. I think it's important that not only do we continue to work the capital improvement fund or initiatives, but we also advertise the things that we have accomplished. We've done a lot of improvements and enhancements specifically to our elementary schools over recent years. Things that, as a board member, that sometimes I forget. So I'm sure that general public doesn't realize how many upgrades and enhancements we've made to the elementary schools. So I'm very appreciative that you're continue to emphasize the capital improvement. I also want to say I think it's very much appreciated, at least from me, that you are seeking the feedback from others. You know, I think people appreciate when you offer them the opportunity for input. So I appreciate the fact that you're allowing that this year.
Yes, sir.
So.
Anybody else? Ms. Hicks?
Yeah, I was wondering, as far as the capital improvement plan that we have right now, we were going to get an update on what has been done and what hasn't been done. Is there a report coming from the facilities committee from that?
Yes, we discussed having an update come out. We can target for October of having a capital improvement presentation of what has been completed and go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else? One more thing? Yeah, Mr. Lloyd.
I failed to mention one thing. I also think it would be very important when we look at some of these cost savings, you know, things that we do a lot, and I know we've had conversations about this, about all of the printed items that we release to, you know, whether it's parents and families. You know, I know this day and time, much of what I receive from other sources are, you know, to be green, you know, you receive electronic documents and fillable forms, things like that, where we prove it with a checkbox or a digital signature. I think parents would appreciate that, and that seems to be a significant cost savings. Found ways to automate that initially. I imagine that's your biggest cost, and then you have the ability to send that out here and save on those booklets or whatnot. So,
Good. Anybody else? Yeah, Mr. Potts.
It's the school budget for 2026, 25, 26, the next school year. The high school is a separate budget. Yeah, that's a separate deal altogether. Yeah, yes. That's correct. This is the budget that pays the staff and buys the materials and all of that.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Buckley.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Miller, give us an update from the homework committee, please.
Good evening, Chairman Mason, Vice Chair Lloyd, all the board members, and Dr. Huskin. I want to apologize because I will not be as illustrious as Mr. Fears, who just led his team in the EGP presentation, but we are here to share the information. The purpose tonight is to provide an update on the homework committee. And as you'll see, this is the introductory paragraph to our homework policy. It's located in our handbook. And here it does recognize the importance of families and education, which as you move forward, when we had our homework committee, you will see not only families, but the different folks that we had working together to begin this conversation. We had student representation from both the middle and high schools, parents, teachers, and administrators at each level, as well as 2 board members, and we have met in the spring and summer so far. So in the spring, we solicited feedback from parents, teachers, and students. We had 239 pre-K through 12 parents that responded. We had 215 teacher responses, and we had 508 student responses from grades 6 through 11. And just to start the school year, before we meet as a committee again, we just want to do a student check-in just to see how it's going. And we were excited that we had 1,181 students complete that survey from grades 6 through 12. So what we want to do, I hope, is to share kind of where the first 3 boxes will show feedback from the spring and students in the fall. And when we meet together as a committee again, we'll be open to looking at surveying everyone, but we knew it'd be easy to get a quick pulse check from the students. And what we'll notice is that in the spring, we had about close to 70% of our parents noted that it took about an hour or less for their students to complete homework. And the teacher perception was that around 94% of teachers thought that's what it looked like. And our students shared that about 68% of them said it took them less than an hour. This fall, when we looking at the less than 30 minutes and 30 minutes to an hour, we have about 85% of our students now who are saying, starting off the school year, it takes them about less than an hour to do their homework. Not pay attention to the other areas, those who took them more than 1 hour, but the bulk of our students said it took them less than 30 minutes or less than an hour to do their homework. And we looked at different questions that were common in the surveys in the spring and fall. And the top 5 types of homework assignments, we saw consistency there in terms of what our parents, teachers, and students are seeing. And studying was one of the most common ones, but also your note reading, doing math, projects, and other written exercises, the top 5 types of homework assignments, which do match the expectations that we have in our homework policy. One of the questions that we asked in the spring of parents and students was the importance of homework to the academic success. And the parents thought 31.8% said very. As you can see, 43.5% somewhat. And then about a quarter of the parents said not at all. And with our students, you can see the details there with very, somewhat, not at all. In this fall, our focus was to not only look at their output on what they thought the importance of homework was, but maybe to dig in deeper and say why. Because one of the comments that came out with our committee meetings was to look at quality and quantity. And so we felt like this would help us gain an idea of the quality of the homework. And so our students, about 43%, do find or stated they found the homework to be relevant and helpful. Another close to 19% said not relevant but manageable. And 17% said difficult or overwhelming. And then about 21% said boring or unengaging. And so this is a focus that we have in conversations that we're working within our schools now, not only to look at what we're doing well, but ways that we can grow in the academic program for our students. And we started some of those conversations last week. We had a secondary leadership team meeting with lead teachers from both the middle school and high school. And they're going to go back to their peers to have these conversations, because this is something that's very important to us to make sure that we can make the educational experience meaningful to our students. And we'll continue these conversations with our principals, elementary leadership, and again, when we reconvene as a committee. So some of our next steps, the committee just thought it was important that we continue to talk and discuss. At that point, there were no clear-cut changes to the policy, but they wanted us to make sure we reconvene, so we plan to do that this fall. Some things that we did last year that we plan to continue, and we've done in previous years as well, are to restart our after-school program and the Saturday school opportunities to help support students and families with extra support with classroom assignments. And one idea that we did discuss during the meetings with our homework committee was to establish an in-school study skills lab at the high school. And so with the grant through Gear Up, that was something we were able to build into the grant. So we're going to begin to work with Mr. Davis and his team to make sure that we can establish that in-school study skills lab for students who may not be able to stay after school to get the support they need. So again, the recommendations, again, to continue to discuss and monitor the homework at the building level. That was born from the homework committee. The next recommendation is not a direct byproduct of the homework committee, but different feedback that we've received, and I will turn that over to Dr. Huskin to discuss the asynchronous day.
Some of the feedback that we throughout the division, phone calls, conversation with principals and people in general, that the asynchronous assignments that day just was just ineffective. So as sort of you do things and you don't keep doing them if you just really deem them ineffective. So we really that day to just basically teach just because we just don't serve the purpose. So it may have worked in other places. Don't really feel like it worked for us. So we have enough hours, well over hours, time for all these. So, but we don't feel like our need to burden with assignments on all it. Responsive and assignments just for the No, it's not that. I think that there was some mixed feedback about that it was not effective. Some parents, because if a parent had to go to work and the students had to maybe be with a grandparent that day or a different caregiver, they needed maybe some students getting the assignments done. There was just too much of a disconnect in the level of need at work on an asynchronous out the level. So it just overall, the general, some other school districts, it would work. We're just not, it's just going to be a teacher work day. Have a certain amount. We're just not going to have that type of day anymore. We're not going to use those here. We're just, when we need teacher work days, we're just going to have a certain. It was basically a day that if the teachers had sent a certain amount of work home for the children to do, it would count as like a work from home day for the children. And the feedback that we received that the children weren't able to complete assignments because the parents weren't there to sit with them do it. So it just basically was not effective. So we took that feedback and we just said, we don't have to do them. Let's just not. Let's just make it a teacher. Because the model is that it does work in places. Our children had done virtual learning before. I mean, again, sometimes you try different things that you get ideas from other places. We had gotten feedback from other school divisions that it was effective. It just didn't work here. So we took the feedback from parents and teachers and students and just said, okay, we tried it. Didn't really respond well to it. We're not going to keep on with it. So let's just not. That's not a one-time teacher work day that we had before. We had sent work home for the children to do, not homework, just counting it as a school day, as a virtual day. But we don't need it, just counting it. And we have enough hours to just be a. And the other piece that we're going to do for that, we would like to have the hours on that day, have it be for our staff to work 11 to 6 that day, so that parents, so it can actually be conference day, so that we extend the hours, working parents a little bit later in the evening. The staff could work a little bit alternative. Those are conversations that we have directly. Those are conversations we need to have, like, privately, and find out who those are, and we need those particular folks. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have to know particulars of situations, and I'm not in there, so let me know things. I'm feeling pretty good about following up. Okay.
What's happening?
Would there be a way to see some type of report on kids that are on homebound for suspension?
I can talk to
not tonight.
Yeah, I can talk to my colleagues about that.
Maybe something we could drum up right now.
Right. Yeah.
I can talk to our colleagues about that.
Okay. Sure. Okay. All right. If that's possible, I think it may be helpful for future conversations. Again, not tonight at all. Mr. Lloyd, do you have something?
Yeah. First, I want to thank. I had the opportunity to serve on the committee, and I want to thank Ms. Miller for all the work she did to facilitate the committee meetings, and everything were very well attended, and we managed to stay on task and work through the process. Now, with that said, I'm pleased with the work that we're doing, but I did want to emphasize this. I've said it many times, and I don't want to miss the opportunity tonight to say it again publicly. Exactly what Dr. Huskins just commented on a moment ago about the challenges we have with the asynchronous learning days, as far as kids having equal opportunity or equal resources at home. That to me is the same challenge we have with the homework. They're not equal resources, not time, not equal anything, which is why over the years, I've always been a no graded homework policy. And don't give homework, but we shouldn't grade people when it's not the equal opportunity to achieve the same grade. And I think what Mr. Potts said a moment ago, again on the discipline committees, further emphasizes this same point. When the kids get home and they're on the discipline hearings, they don't have resources, they don't have ability, and the grades suffer. We see it every time. I mean, it's a fairly clear issue that I hope as a committee we will continue to look at. I do think that we always talk about fairness and equality in learning, and that may be the most blatant example of where you have neither, in my opinion. So, again, thank you, Ms. Miller, for everything you're doing. You're doing a great job with the committee, keeping us on task and facilitating all discussions and surveys.
Thank you for the feedback.
Dr. Hudson, yeah.
I just want to add one little, so that's some of the positive things that are getting kind of shored that up are the Gear Up, the lab. I'm super excited about that learning lab that's coming to the high school. So kids during the day go to the study skills lab, get help, and get some time. Because, you know, if a finishes early in a 90-minute block and they need some help, time, go to that learning lab, get some help in addition to with that homework. So that's encouraging. The other thing is Saturday program is coming back.
Yes.
After school program, elementary school. So parents are working, kids schools are going to start up their after school program, and Saturday schools at the elementary schools too. That's part of that the governor's all in initiative. So we do have programs in place. The transportation piece is coming this year too. Last year we kind of struggled a little bit with starting those initiatives. Not everywhere had the transportation piece. So this year we are and that. Trying to level that plan a little bit, and so that kids who don't have that help, trying to level that out best we can. It's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be.
Mr. Clay.
I got a couple questions. Thank you for putting this together. This is a hot topic in my neighborhood. I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'm getting phone calls every night for homework. Not just one or two, multiple. This survey that was sent out, was it sent out to elementary level parents?
Last spring it was.
But this fall?
This fall was just high school students.
High school. I think we need to take a look at the elementary side. There's a lot of homework coming out. There's graded homework being sent home. There's in-class work being sent home as of this week. I know it's a policy issue. At some point, we gotta correct it. And when I grew up, my mom, she helped me. In this day and time, I'm 100% with Mr. Lloyd. I mean, both parents are working these days. I mean, you might have grandparents that's keeping kids that can't help elementary kids at this level. I just think sending busy work home is a mistake. A lot of that's being sent home. I think a survey needs to come out with the elementary side, because, I mean, I've talked to a couple of other board members. I'll just tell you, homework's a hot topic right now. It's very hot. There's a lot being sent out.
We'll definitely work with the committee to get that done.
Ms. Comer first.
As Mr. Clay said, in my district, it's a really big issue, especially in elementary kids. I don't even know how many parents who never even received a survey. So I don't know how it was out, but it did not reach people in my district as much as I would have hoped it would, nor did I get one myself. And I've got 2 kids in the school now, and I did not get anything.
Was that last spring?
I have not gotten one, period.
Okay.
So I know that these are students, but also children. And I'm going to ask you this question. How many hours a day do you work on average every day? Like just like on a Monday or Tuesday, how many hours do you work every day?
Here and at home?
Just here. I get that. I get that. That's going to prove my point even more. So I work 8 hours a day. And when I come home, I want to be present with my child, watching her play with toys or read books or enjoy her childhood. Not spending 2.5 hours on homework that's busy work. That is just memorization and not retention. And I think at some point we're forgetting that these children should have the opportunity to be children and to take a break from being a student, because they're a student for 6+ hours a day. Some of them are on buses from 30 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night because they're a shortage. I've got students in my district trying to get in 5 o'clock or after. That is a long day. That's a other parents that I've talked to, it is an outstanding amount. I think we need to remember that these children deserve to have a childhood that is imaginative play and sitting on the couch enjoying time with their parents after they spent 6+ hours in school. To me, it's like working overtime with no pay, and nobody wants to. I just want this deep dive into dramatically more and reiterate it. I mean, over and over and over again. But we need to let kids in high school that are having work to help support their own families. And, you know, what do we do with those? We got kids playing sports. I mean, there's so many other things that we look into. And, you know, if their grades are great or if they're not and they need extra help, that's when things should be able to be helped. But definitely in elementary level, there is a dramatic disconnect somewhere. Dramatic disconnect. And I would hope that a kid hates school at elementary level. Big problem.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Cole. Mr. Potts?
I'm glad you brought that because I was going to ask you what we're talking about. Is we're talking for elementary, like talking middle school, perhaps. We're talking all 3 levels. Talking all 3 levels. That means that we got something going on. First time, you guys are just getting it. Y'all ain't been on there for 6 months. You get it. We done got it before, right? We done heard this before. This works. We need to rebound. You guys brought it up. That's what's going down. See, they're telling you what I already knew. I already knew that this was going on. Disciplinary kids. You tell me the one. Look at something. Now, one of the images we have any
we could reshape our survey to ask some of those specific questions.
Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody will still have to be able to study through the college. Still gonna have to be able to study. So you get blueprints. Do that. We want to meet. Are we meeting it?
Thank you, Mr. Potts. Ms. Hicks?
Hi. I'm wondering about the new curriculum in the elementary schools. Do you think that's influencing the amount of homework? It seems like there's a lot of assessments going on at the elementary level.
Without knowing the specific concerns, it's hard for me to answer that. So if I knew like where some of the specific concerns were coming from, I feel like I could be better informed to answer that question.
I'm not sure exactly. I've just heard with the new curriculum, there's a lot more assessments, and some classes are they have a quiz or test every single day. So they have to study on Sunday, so they get ready for the quiz on Monday. And then throughout the rest of the week, they have a quiz or test. So they're studying every night at the elementary level for testing, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. And some of these class averages on the test are failing average. So I don't know if it's too advanced, if it needs to start, if this new curriculum needs to start at kindergarten and work its way up. I don't think we have a choice in that. But when you're hitting, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 2nd grade, whatever, with a new curriculum, and it's just a steamroller, and it's not really cycling, you know, it's not a review, it just moves ahead. I think some kids are getting dropped, and the teachers maybe don't have a choice. They're working hard just to try to learn the new curriculum forward, because after week 1, they were already behind. I don't know what we can do about that, but it seems like it might be spinning the wheel. Kids are retaining. I don't know. Maybe look into surveying the teachers and what we can do with the curriculum aspect of it.
Yeah. And we are, the curriculum is the curriculum we've had in place that was selected by parents, teachers, and approved by the board several years ago. This is the first year that the state has said by law, by the General Assembly, that we have to follow the evidence-based curriculum. And so we do recognize that there's a learning curve. There's some schools who have been using it to fidelity with the way that the General Assembly has asked us to. And then there's some schools that, you know, there is a learning curve, so we have different professional development and practice embedded with that. And we meet with our coaches and our principals regularly. So we do recognize that it is a struggle starting out, but we are optimistic once we get some more of that feedback and look at some of those assessment pieces and cycle back to some of those issues that we can resolve it. But it's the curriculum that the HMH that was approved a few years ago.
Michelle?
Yeah, a couple of questions for you. The after school and Saturday school, I know last year it was by invitation only, trying to get it set up and going. Is that going to be invitation only this year as well, or are parents allowed to request for their students?
That may have been a school by school case. The first idea behind the after school and Saturday school program was for attendance. So some of the schools may have identified some of the students that are truant, and that may have been where the initial invitation was, but we could go back and talk to the principals about that. When it came from us, it was not required that it be invitation only. And then there are some different caveats based on grade level and content areas that the students need, because the All-In Virginia, it supports predominantly reading and math for middle school and elementary. When it gets to the high school, it's predominantly to support the attendance piece.
That could make sure that doesn't allow for parents to sign many of those, but I was one last year and my kid hates me for it, but
okay.
I wanted to attend.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Yeah. Then I know this committee's been going for a while. Are there plans? When's the next meeting, and what's the target for getting this resolved with a recommendation for the board?
The committee said that they thought it'd be best if we meet between around the 9 weeks mark. So we are going to work with the committee members. I want to look at availability to have something at the end of this month, beginning of October, just making sure that we can have as many people there as possible.
So looking at November for recommendation.
I guess it just depends on where the committee goes, and I guess in what we decide at the next meeting what's needed. So we meet together, if we draft a survey together and then disseminate that, it just depends on that timeline that we come together as a committee.
Could maybe target November, because it has been months. We started this spring and wanted to finish it before the contract went out. So it's possible to at least get November. That's not possible. Come back to us and let us know, but it's nice if it goes out. Then the last question, the asynchronous day, we have 2 on the calendar. plan for both of those to be work days, or are you going to talk and then ask us?
Well, one thing when we talked before, we looked at the first one, thinking about the day that some of the open houses had to close early. We thought that would have been a good opportunity, since it's a parent-teacher conference day, to allow some of those families to get into the buildings that did not have the opportunity to. We wanted to reserve how we look at it in the spring, not knowing what type of weather we have. And it still could be some change to be an asynchronous day, but we did not want to remove it as an instructional day in case the winter gives us something that hasn't given us in recent years.
We make updates like to be consistent. So if we calendar, I would prefer we do it once rather than holding it for just.
Yeah, this wouldn't change the actual count, it would just be change the. Changing the purpose of the day actually changes. I would think so, because the calendar says asynchronous learning day, so that the calendar says that students are supposed to be doing homework. I think that's a calendar change. Well, are not in agreement with doing that, then asynchronous day, but I was, everybody would be glad.
I move to remove, motion to remove the asynchronous.
Got a motion on the floor in a second. Yes, sir. Yeah. Any discussion, Mr. Pop? Yeah. The 21st would be the.
I think that what they're gonna do, Mr. Potts, is instead of sending work home with the kids, they're just gonna make it a teacher's work day. I don't know if that changes that. Yeah. No, I think that's basically what the motion is.
Yeah.
The asynchronous.
It's just going to be. It's going to be labeled a teacher's work day. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, she changed it.
Correct.
Nothing on the calendar is going to, nothing else is going to change. What we're calling it is going to change.
We're going to change the wording. Yeah. No, it was just to remove the asynchronous title from the day.
Yes, and it'll still be at conferences and then teacher work day.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We have one asynchronous day this semester, and then we have one each semester. Yes, sir. There's one next semester. It's to the. It's up to.
I think that's what the motion was.
First one. You can go ahead and use that as a come to school day.
Yeah, can I amend my motion?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to remove the asynchronous part of both days of the school year.
Okay.
I'll get second that.
Second that motion. Okay. Yeah. Any other discussion on this? So she amended her original motion. Yes. So motion is to have both asynchronous days now teacher work days and conference days if needed. We've got a second. No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Mr. Clay?
I got one more question.
You're not quick enough, Michelle. Come to you next.
The other thing I've heard, and it kind of puzzles me to hear this, and I've heard it from several parents that have called me, texted me, much conversation is some of the work is being sent home, not enough time in the day. If it's not enough time to get it done today, then we send it home, top of the homework that you already had, and you're adding it. I think that's where a lot of this comes into play. Maybe find out why there is it maybe because that they have. Why isn't it time to? There's a lot of students in certain classes, a lot of students in one class, and my biggest fear is that work going home to a child who wants to. And believe me, there are a lot of people. Like they don't have any. A lot of parents are fortunate to be able to be educated, help teach their kids once it gets home. A lot of people are not educated. A lot of people can't. Some of this work on the 3rd and 4th grade level, I look at it and I'm like, I can't. Honest with you. I'll be honest with you, because some of it I can't. So, what are other people doing? I just don't want you not to be able to have, everybody needs to be on the same ball field, same level playing. And I just don't know if
I've got Ms. Shotwell first, and then I'll come to you, Mr. Potts.
Mine's quick. I just wanted to say thank you for including both days and for also making the time to. That's a huge help for our working parents to not take time off from work to attend. So thank you.
Mr. Potts?
You brought up another point. Is it work? You get the full box. We done. With extra paperwork. What you're saying? That's another issue. There's 2 issues. Get it done. Get homework set up. Sure, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else from Ms. Miller? No? All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis, good evening, sir. Take that long walk over there for us.
Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, school board members, Dr. Huskins, good evening. In your packet, you have a revised copy of the regulation JHCC this is an action item for tonight, and I'll just read the highlighted section and ask for your approval. Well, I'm sorry, this does not need an approval because it's a regulation just for information purposes. And the highlighted area says, based on the request of current school board, Halifax County Public Schools will follow the following procedures when managing head lice infestations in schools. And then if you go down to under Roman numeral number 1, under communication number 2, it says if more than one student pre-K through ECS is struck through in a pre-K through 3rd grade classroom is found to have head lice, the principal will send a letter and information sheet to the parents of all students in the affected classrooms. So this is just it's not an action item, just an update for the changes to the draft of this regulation.
Okay. Any questions on it? Yeah, Ms. Shotwell.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing it forward. I would actually request that if there's any student in pre-K through third grade class that's found to have license, that the parents of all the students be notified. The purpose, kids in that grade, they don't know personal space during close contact, it spreads. My kids in there, I want to know to be able to watch and help clear it up for the teachers. So I would actually ask that be for any student, not more than one student. Just a technicality, the statement at the top, since it's school board policy or regulation, putting based on request of the current school board really doesn't need to be there. Slightly offensive, but any objections, or do we need a motion to see if the rest of the board agrees that if any student found that
If any, I think it should.
So the motion would be that number 2, to update instead of if more than one student, if any student.
All right, you got a motion on the floor. Mr. Lloyd, second. Any discussion? All those in favor of making that amendment to number 2, to any student, not more than one, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Okay. Here's the thing. That all on that one, and you can carry on while you're there.
I will do that. Also included in your packet, are the August 2024 VSBA policy updates. We only have 6 for this time, so this is your first read, and the majority of these are on the basis of the changing of the code and Code of Virginia and the General Assembly changes. So next month I'll come back with the final version of these 6 policies for you to adopt, and we can update our policy manual.
Wonderful.
If I can go to the next one.
You can. Yes, sir.
This is for surplus property. Excuse me. We are seeking school board approval of classifying 100 10R-22.5 recap tires that are no longer usable as surplus property, so that we may kind of clean up our areas at the transportation department. So this is an action item according to our policy. You all have to declare that as a surplus items, and then we can move forward with that.
Second. Any discussion? Yes, sir. Mr. Lloyd.
So, Mr. Davis, what will happen with these tires? Mark them as surplus.
Well, we will be able to. Well, we've had conversations with VRR, and there is a need for disposable tires, so they'll come and remove all the tires that we have there, just to kind of free up some of the space that we have at the transportation department.
Okay. I only asked that question because a few years back we were challenged whether we were disposing this properly. And some question about whether we were properly disposing of those tires. So I just want to make sure that we were doing what we needed to do in a proper manner. So
yes, sir. And this is one of the steps when you all declared a surplus, and these tires, they can't be used. They're not usable for any type of road situation. That's some things that they could use for safety out at VRR. And they've been great partners with us, so we're trying to, continue to enhance that partnership.
Okay. I just want to state that publicly. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Veterans group out there. Veterans group tires in there. Actually, Mr. Medley said, y'all need some more tires. So we're happy that you all did that. Thank you.
Good. Mr. Potts, you have anything to add to that?
Could you, before we get stolen,
Well, we do have cameras that are out there, but the areas where they, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Medley, the areas where they actually went on the backside of the fence, that's not an area where we have cameras that are set up. But certainly we are, going to try to move majority of our vehicles where they're covered under the surveillance cameras. We're working on it. You know, it's always, you know, it's a chance that things like this will happen. It has happened before, but we're going to work towards making sure that our entire lot is secure. Right. Right. I'm not sure. Probably more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That felony.
All right, so back to, we had a motion on the floor and a second on the tires. So all those in favor of declaring those surplus and items and donating those wherever they need to go, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no.
All right, and then the last one, which is requiring action item tonight, it's file GCBF sick leave, and we've made some additions, corrections to this, and what we want to do is give an additional sick day to our car drivers, bus aides, and car aides. So I'll read the first paragraph. It says professional personnel and other employees earn sick leave in the amount of 1 day for each month's service, except for bus. We're going to add car drivers, and bus and car aides will earn, instead of 5, a total of 6 days per year. The maximum number of days that may be earned per year is 10 days for 10-month employees, 11 days for 11-month employees, and 12 days for 12-month employees. If the employee is contracted to work less than a full day or less than a full year, sick leave earned is on a prorated basis. So I would like ask for a motion to approve this so that we make increase our number of sick leave days for our bus and car and aid drivers.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I think this is just one more way that we show our transportation department how much they are valued and appreciated, that we depend on them so much to get our kids from school. I would make a motion.
Any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain if there's a difference here for other part-time employees or differences between 6 days for car and bus versus like cafeteria folks?
I don't have that information with me at the moment, but we can certainly get that information to you.
Yeah, if we could look and see if we're being fair for all part-time.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yep, absolutely. Good point. Got a motion, second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Ask for a motion to. No, sir. We're just getting started, Mr. Potts.
Yes, sir. Pursuant to Section 2.23711 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the board convene a closed meeting for the purpose of considering the following specific matters: personnel, the appointment, resignation, and salaries of specific division employees as authorized by Section 2.23711A1 of the Code of Virginia, and disciplining specific students of the school division as authorized by Section 2.23711A2 of the Code of Virginia.
Motion to convey into closed session? Yes. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.